So do you also use tally forms for your business? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to notify team on Microsoft Teams for tally form submission. So here I'm running a edutech company and we use tally forms to get the details of our potential clients. So now what I want is that as soon as we receive new potential client details, I want to notify my team on Microsoft Teams about the same. So to do this, we are going to create a connection between tally forms and Microsoft Teams. To create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So I'm going to do all of this so that I can convert my potential clients into paying clients. So do you also wish to learn this process step by step? Then let me take you to my computer screen. Welcome to my screen, everyone. So as you know, in this video I'll show you how to set up an automation that notifies your team in a specific Teams channel whenever a new tally form is submitted. This ensures that your team stays up to date in real time, enabling quicker follow-up and better organization. So let's get started with a really simple example. So as you can see that this is the registration form. I'm going to give it to all the potential clients. So let's suppose over here I'm a potential client and I fill in this registration form. Okay, so I'm going to select all of these details and then we're going to click on register. And as soon as we're going to completely submit this form, yes, you can see that it is saying your registration is completed. And now what I want is I want that automatically my team should be notified on Microsoft Teams as soon as a new registration is completed, right? So I'm going to put my Microsoft Teams right over here, and yes, you can see that my team is instantly notified as soon as we completed a new registration. You can see the same registration details. You can see the lead name, you can see the email, the phone, the preferred course, and the current level of education right over here. So yes, we have simply created this magic with the help of Pabbly Connect, where what we have done is we have created a connection between Tally and Microsoft Teams. And in order to create this connection, I have already opened the landing page of Pabbly simply by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. It is very easy. So as soon as we're going to open the landing page of Pabbly, we're going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you're a new user, you can click on sign up for free and you're going to get 100 hours free every month. But over here, I'm an existing user, so I'm going to click on sign in. And as soon as I'm going to click on sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps. Over here, you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video, we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications, which is Tally Form Builder and Microsoft Teams, right? So I'm going to click on access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connect account. And as soon as we're going to click on access now, it is opening my dashboard. And to start with this automation, we are going to click on this button which says create workflow. And now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So here I want to save the workflow in this folder which is automations. And on my dashboard, you can see multiple folders which I have already created. So if you wish to learn how to create a new folder or a subfolder, you can click on this hyperlink which says learn more. And now it is asking for the workflow name. So I want the workflow name to be how to notify team on Microsoft Teams for tally forms submission. Tally forms to Microsoft Teams. And then we are going to click on create. And as soon as we're going to click on create, it is opening the most important window for automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the trigger is the commander for the workflow and actions follow the commands. And as you know that we can have only a single commander but multiple followers. So here we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger. So by this you can finally understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by our trigger. And in order to start with our automation, we have to select our trigger application. So for my trigger application, I'm going to select it as Tally Form Builder because what I want is as soon as a new form submission is made in my Tally Form Builders, automatically my workflow should be triggered. So I'm going to select my trigger application as Tally, and now for the trigger event, we are going to select it as new response. Over here, trigger event means the event on which the workflow will start. Okay, and now as soon as we're going to select the trigger event, it is giving me a webhook URL. So we're going to use this same webhook URL in order to create a connection between our Tally and our Pabbly's workflow. So what we're going to do is first we're going to copy this webhook URL and then we're going to follow this help text, and it is saying log into your Tally account, publish your form and go to the integrations and then webhooks. Click on connect to add the webhook URL. Okay, so we are going to follow all of this. I'm going to open my Tally account right from here, and as you can see, this is the form I want to create this automation for. So I'm going to go on edit of this form, and after coming on edit right over here, we are going to look for integration. And as you can see, integrations right over here, so we are going to go on this integrations, and after coming right over here to integrations, you can see webhooks right over here. So I'm going to go on this webhook and click on connect. and as soon as we're going to click on connect, it is saying endpoint URL. So what we're going to do is we're going to paste the URL which we copied from our workflow, which was the webhook URL. Okay, we're going to paste it right over here, and then we're going to click on connect, and as soon as we're going to click on connect, yes, you can see that we have successfully added this webhook URL right over here. And after adding this webhook URL, yes, with this we have successfully completed a connection between Tally and Pabbly's workflow. But it is saying waiting for a response, and in the notes it is saying do a test submission / record. So in order to capture this webhook response, we have to do a test submission or record. So what we have to do is we have to open the form which we connected right now with our workflow, and we have to do the test submission of that form only. Okay, so I'm going to open this form. As you can see that this is the registration form, so I'm going to copy this link right over here, and then we're going to paste this link in a new tab and do a test submission of this form. Okay, so I'm going to submit this as a potential client. Okay, so for the first name, I'm going to give it as dummy, last name user, email as dummy@pabblytudes.com. For the phone number, I'm going to keep it as this. And now to see current level of education, so I'm going to keep it as working professional. And now for the preferred course, I'm going to select it as basics of web development, and then we are going to click on register. And as you can see, your registration is completed. So yes, with this we have successfully did the test submission, and now what has happened is that Tally has sent the details of a test submission to our workflow. So I'm going to open my workflow and check that if Pabbly has captured the response for the same or not. So I'm going to open my workflow, and yes, you can see that Pabbly has captured response A. You can see that Pabbly has captured the details of my test submission. You can see the first name, you can see the last name, you can see the email, the phone number, current level of education, you can see the preferred course, all the details which we entered in the test submission, right? So yes, with this we have successfully completed our trigger step. Okay, so now what will happen is that as soon as the new form response is submitted in my Tally, automatically Pabbly is going to capture the response and trigger this workflow. Okay, so further what I want is I want to notify my team on Microsoft Teams for Tally form submission, right? So for the action application, I'm going to select it as Microsoft Teams. So I'm going to search for Microsoft Teams right over here, and as you can see Microsoft Teams, so I'm going to select it, and after selecting the action application, it is asking me for the action event. So for my action event, I'm going to select it as send message in channel because I want to send a message. Okay, and then we're going to click on connect, and as soon as we're going to click on connect, it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your Microsoft Teams account with your Pabbly's workflow, you can click on select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and then we have to click on this button which says connect with Microsoft Teams. And as soon as we're going to click on this button which says connect with Microsoft Teams, yes, you can see that Pabbly is asking me for some permissions. So what we are going to do is I'm going to click on accept and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for because my data is secure with Pabbly. You can also click on accept, Pabbly is safe. And as soon as we're going to click on accept right over here, yes, you can see authorization successful. With this, we have successfully connected our Microsoft Teams account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now we are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the team. So here you can see that in my Microsoft Teams account, I've created multiple teams. Okay, so we have to select one team right over here in which I want to send this message. Okay, so I'm going to select it as the sales team because I want to notify my sales team on every new registration form submitted. Okay, so for the team, I'm going to select it as sales team, and after selecting the team as sales team, it is going to ask me to select the channel. So here you can see that in my sales team, I have only a single channel which is journal. So I'm going to select the same right over here too, which is journal, and after selecting the team and the channel, it is asking me for the message. What is the message I want to send into my channel, which is this, right? So I'm going to enter this same message right over here in my workflow, and now you can see that we have successfully entered a message right over here. But you must notice that I've left the fields like name, email, phone, preferred course, current level of education blank, because what I want is I want to add the details which we received from the response of our Tally right over here in that message. Okay, which is the name, email, and all the details. I want to enter these same details right over here in my message, but we are not going to copy paste the details or enter it manually, but instead we are going to map it. So you must be wondering, what is mapping? So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step, and as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Tally as our trigger application. So we're going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only, and as soon as we're going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. So I'm going to give you an example that it is asking me for the name, right? So let's suppose I'm going to enter the name right over here manually by simply typing it like this. Then this will not change with every new response received because this is a static information and I've entered it manually. But if we are going to map this from the previous response response. Let's suppose I'm going to open my previous response and look for name. And as you can see, first name and last name. So let's suppose we're going to map the first name, put a space, and then the last name. So let's suppose we're going to map these details from the previous response. Then this will definitely change because my previous response will also change with every new submission, right? So that's why we do mapping right over here to run our workflow in real time. Okay, so same we are going to do with the email too. I'm going to look for email in my previous response, and as you can see, the emails we're going to map it. Same we are going to do with the phone number. I'm going to look for phone number and we are going to map the phone number. We are going to map the preferred course right over here, which is basics of web development. We're going to map the current level of education too right over here, which is working professional. And after entering all of these details, I'm going to click on this button which says save and send test request. And as soon as we're going to click on this button which says save and send test request, yes, you can see that we have successfully received a positive response, that we have successfully sent an automated notification in my Microsoft Teams with the same details received from the tally. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my Microsoft Teams and check for the new message sent. And yes, you can see a new message which is new registration alert, name, email, phone, preferred course, current level of education, action needed. So yes, you can see that we have successfully sent another message with the details of my new lead. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow, but I'll just test this workflow once, and this time I'm going to give you a real-time example. So what we're going to do is I'm going to open my registration form and we're going to do another test submission right over here with the new details. Okay, so for the first name I'm going to keep it as test, last name as this, email as this, and now for the phone number we are going to keep it as this. We're going to keep the current level of education as undergrad. Over here for the preferred course I'm going to select it as, let's say, this, and then we're going to click on register. And as soon as we're going to click on register, yes, you can see your registration is completed. So now what has happened is that Tally has sent the details of my test submission to my workflow. Pabbly captured the response, triggered the workflow, and further sent an automated notification in my Teams notifying them about the new registration or the new lead received. So what we're going to do is I'm going to open my Teams and check for the new message sent. And this time we are not going back to our workflow and clicking on save and send test request. I'll directly open my Microsoft Teams, and yes, you can see a new message received. You can see the same details which we entered, same name, email, phone, all the details are same. Only you can see that the details which I've mapped have changed right over here. Instead of dummy, it's test. Instead of this email, it is this email. You can see the phone number has changed. Only the details which we mapped has changed. Rest the message is same, right? And these details are the same details which we entered right now in our test submission. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow. And now what will happen is that as soon as a new response is received from my Tally, automatically a message would be sent in my Microsoft Teams without any manual efforts. So yes, this was it for the video, and if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. And for your reference, I'll just clone this workflow and share the workflow link in the description box so that you can access my workflow. I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you for watching. So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can integrate many more applications. So if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.